So yeah, I suggested that to you, both of you guys, a while ago. I think James,
I think I look slightly happier about it.
yeah, definitely. And Steve just looks petrified. Maybe
I've got to go now. I'm going to take up darts and start eating crisps again. Hi, welcome to Going Along with Cycling Weekly, the cycling podcast about all things ultra, bikepacking and adventure riding. My name's Steve Shrubsall and today I am with main man, Ian Toe. Hello Ian, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Still rocking in the free world?
Yeah, always.
And back for more is our guy JBK, James Benson King, aka, I can't remember, you got one more aka?
AKA, yeah, Benson, but Ian doesn't like that name.
Your mum doesn't like it either.
Yeah, no, family don't.
To be honest, I don't either.
Oh, God.
Yes, I like James. It's a good, solid, old-fashioned, wasn't even old-fashioned. It's just a good, solid name. You should be very proud of it.
There we go.
Right. Guys, have you got anything you want to ask me?
Why are you wearing the goggles today, Steve?
Why would that come up?
What are you talking
Yeah,
about? What do I mean?
Goggles. Why am I wearing these goggles? For those of you listening, you're probably thinking we are ventured even deeper into cloud cuckoo land. No, we're still on the periphery. We're on the outskirts. I am wearing a pair of mountain biking goggles for two reasons. One, I wanted to test their ability to anti-mist, and in my hand I have a cup of coffee. It's a hot cup of coffee, and when I drink it, lo and behold, steam, mist. So these mountain bike goggles, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago, are not anti-mist. So I won't be wearing these for the rest of, well, certainly not going into summer. But we do need, you know, we're going into winter now, we do need a certain amount of protection. And this is a very awkward segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is winterizing ourselves and winterizing our bikes. Now, I'm going to take these off now because they're starting to get extremely uncomfortable.
We're really uncomfortable with you wearing them.
Yeah, that must have looked a bit weird. But, James, you've done a huge amount of winter riding, a huge amount of riding in extreme conditions, both hot and cold. Obviously, we're leaning towards cold today because we're entering winter. And winter, let's not beat about the bush here. Describe winter in 2 words, Ian.
Winter in the UK. Grim.
In
One
2
word.
words.
Grim and grim. Very grim.
Very grim.
Very grim.
James, put you on the spot here.
Oh, God. Slightly enjoyable, maybe.
Slightly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my 2 would be slightly unenjoyable. No, extremely unenjoyable. You know, winter in the UK is just something. It's like a hurdle, isn't it? You get through autumn, which is, let's face it, a bit crap as well. Although the leaves do turn a nice colour for about 5 minutes. Then they turn to leaf litter on the floor and just make you skid all over the place. Then you've got this huge hurdle called December, January, February and March. We want to get through these months as enjoyably as possible. And to do that, I'm going to be speaking to you two about how exactly we do that. Now, first question, do we wear a pair of mountain biking goggles? Have you ever used those before in Arctic conditions, James? Or
I have, yeah. Snow ski goggles, essentially. I'd wear those in really bad conditions, so where visibility is quite low, or if the wind picks up in blizzards and things. So I've ridden in those conditions in Sweden a few times, and yeah, you need a pair of goggles just to protect the face from the extreme cold.
Do you not find they mist up or steam up?
They do, but sometimes that's the lesser evil. There are ways to regulate it.
You sort of like a sort of diving mask. You sort of
tilt them up to let the rainwater out. Yeah. A lot of the time, I find that I have with a buff on, it's actually funneling hot air up, and there's a mask called a Cold Avenger mask,
right,
which actually protects, kind of gives you space between the mouth and the nose, and
Right.
then allows the air to kind of move away from the
Oh,
mask on
amazing.
its way out.
Is that something that you've used?
Yeah.
Right.
So it does make you look like Bane from Batman.
Yeah.
But that's just another pro for me.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought you were going for the alien face hugger thing.
It's very similar to that as well. Either way, you look incredibly cool, I would say.
So, what about yourself, Ian? Have you ever used any? We're really labouring on this whole goggle point now, but have you used any goggles, downhill or ski goggles for cycling?
Yes, I have.
And
in similar sorts of conditions, because I spend every Christmas in Norway for at least 2 weeks. So I don't have a turbo trainer out there yet, but I ride in the snow with my fat bike. And when there's a snowstorm, 24 hours of snow, we had a meter of snow. And I love it. I love riding in the snow. It's beautiful conditions. Everything looks pristine. It's a very different kind of cycling. So to ride a fat bike in those sorts of conditions, you need to stay warm, and you need to. I think more than that, one trick is you need to ventilate. As JBK was saying, if you don't ventilate your face, then your goggles are going to steam up. But it's the same for your whole body, where you need to be able to open up your layers and let some heat out.
Yeah.
So use the mask there. But I haven't found one which doesn't steam up. So I think we're all on the quest to find something.
Yeah.
I have used washing up liquid on the inside, which helps to a degree, but it does also make visibility a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, obviously those are quite extreme conditions, and we'll actually get to an event that we're all planning on doing, potentially to sort of embrace the colder months.
You seem so happy about that, Steve.
no, I am. It's a good challenge, but I mean, as well as keeping your face warm, I mean, what would you wear on your head in terms of like helmet? Do you sort of use extra? Do you use a sort of skull cap, or have you got a special helmet or something you'd use for cycling in those extreme temperatures?
I think the key thing that people forget in winter cycling, just as a full body kind of update, is that people often overdress because they see how cold it is, but you forget how much heat your body actually gives off. And so the head is the one place that allows you to control the temperature quite well. And so I'll often start riding with a skull cap with earmuffs. So I have a winter one that kind of wraps under your ear to make sure it doesn't slip off. But I can often heat up very quickly. And so I'll take that off, maybe replace it with a smaller cap, or sometimes just go down to a helmet just to regulate that temperature. But it's important that whenever I do stop, particularly in the extreme cold, you're wrapping up warm again and getting those layers back on to retain the heat.
That's quite interesting because as humans, we lose most of our heat through our heads. I wear a balaclava through snowstorms.
Yeah.
And I will take the front of the balaclava down so I can breathe. Otherwise, I just end up slobbering all over myself. But yeah, I much prefer wearing that to a hat.
I often find that if I ask somebody how people want to know how many layers of clothing I'm wearing at minus 15, minus 20, which again is a bit more extreme than road cycling conditions.
Don't worry, we'll get onto UK conditions in a minute, but we're just...
I thought we were talking about it.
But all I'm wearing is a base layer and a hard shell.
Right.
And even on the hard shell, as Ian said, you need to ventilate, so you're opening up zips to allow it to breathe.
And what sort of temperatures are we talking about here?
That'd be down to minus 15, minus 20. And that's just because of how much heat your body is producing, and also how dangerous it is to actually sweat. You want to start the ride cold, and you want to work up to like a normal temperature, because the minute you start sweating, when you stop, that's when it can get dangerous.
Yeah.
But the other side of that is the minute you do stop, you need to have a down jacket or something to insulate yourself and keep yourself warm.
Steve's looking really concerned.
I am, because I'm a heavy sweater. 2.9 litres an hour, FYI.
2.9.
Yeah, I am. I'll make no bones about it. I am petrified. If there's the potential of, I guess, hypothermia. when I get back from a ride, if I'm wearing a base layer, just on a sort of, let's say, a fairly inclement day, a cool day in the UK, maybe 2-3 degrees. So I'll wear a base layer of jersey and a sort of, a long sleeve sort of jacket, sort of spring jacket type thing. I'll get back and the base layer will be
dripping
wet.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a case of keeping ventilated more, because I haven't really got any ventilation going on in my sort of spring jacket that I wear. So I'm assuming the best way to combat that would be either ride slower, or get an improved sort of wicking for your base layer, or get a better ventilated jacket.
What do you usually use as a base layer? I mean, I usually use Norwegian merino.
Yep. I've got a merino, a Gore merino number that I use. So a high quality one that wicks the moisture away from the skin is important.
As a base layer.
As a base layer.
Yeah.
You also, and this is a hard thing for me, I don't know whether you find this as well, but when I'm riding, I just like to ride. And I find that in the winter, there's a lot of admin behind what you're wearing and modulating and unzipping to make sure that you're not sweating. So I think a lot of that you will need to spend time adjusting whilst riding to protect yourself from getting soaking from that 2.9 litre.
And I think learning about yourself and what works for you in different conditions.
Yeah.
Because I completely agree. I think it's pretty much the opposite of road cycling, where you're trying to stay cool all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're generating so much heat, and going very fast means that you can get very cold very quickly, especially on high passes. But on a fat bike, you're going so slowly that you don't have the wind cooling you down constantly.
But
and so
it's
the opposite. Road biking get really cold. Fat biking get really hot.
Yeah. I was actually speaking with a professor at Loughborough University about heat and how cycling is probably the best sport to ride. The best sport to do in heat, because you are cooling yourself as you ride along. It's a sort of self-cooling sport. But as you say, with the fat biking, if we're going to talk about fat biking, I know we're going a bit fat on fat biking at the moment. You are going slow. I mean, what's a sort of average speed for a fat bike? For a fat bike ride in the snow?
On the snow, if I was doing 6 or 7 Ks an hour, I'd be happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move into an event that we're planning on doing. Myself, Ian, JBK.
You look so unhappy about this.
I'm not unhappy. I'm really.
I wish I'd never suggested it in the first place.
No. I'm quietly petrified about the whole thing, but only because of this conversation we've just had.
Yeah.
I'm.
The event that I suggested to both you guys is the Fat Viking, which takes place on January the 24th in Geilo, Norway. It's 150k. It's been won in under 12 hours, and that's very much dependent on the conditions.
So it's about just shy of 100 miles.
Yeah. Right. And the cutoff time is 35 hours, I think. I suggested that to both you guys a while ago. I think James,
I think I look slightly happier about it.
Yeah, definitely. And Steve just looks petrified. Maybe
I've got to go now. I'm going to take up darts and start eating crisps again. God, what have these boys done to me?
I mean, I much prefer the proper winter that you get in Norway.
I'm not being. Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like here, grey, perpetual drizzle, cloud cover, leaves on the floor, angry people everywhere.
Mud. And mud.
Myself.
If you're not on the road with
mud.
angry motorists, then you're having to deal with mud.
Yeah, mud. So let's go, to Norway.
Picturesque Norway.
Picturesque Norway.
In pure snow.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning.
But I did quiz you on this last time we spoke about it, Ian. How picturesque is it? Because it's going to be white and that's it.
It's not just going to be white. I mean, Geilo is, I think, quite high above
Right.
sea level. I think it must be 600 meters high. It's not as stunning as the fjord region, which is where Via Chapter 3 is going to end, near Ålesund. But it lies somewhere between Ålesund and Oslo.
Okay.
And yeah, there are mountains all around.
But I mean, what would the parkour look like from? I mean, I'm going into this completely blind. I don't know what it's like to cycle in the snow. I've never considered cycling in the snow until about 3 hours ago. And yeah, what am I letting myself in for here?
I think it's going to be so stunning you won't even be able to ride.
But
Steve.
really, is it though going to be so stunning? Because all I can picture is just like a wall of white.
It was so when I went out training in Sweden. The snow changes, so it can change from day to day. But in some instances, it was absolutely breathtaking riding through some of the like forests with the snow coming down, with the cloud cover. When it is snowing and there's a fresh layering on the ground, the sound is cushioned, so you feel like you're in this world all on your own.
Yeah.
Like it is truly magical.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's another point to make is not just the visuals that you've just described, but it's also how quiet it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Scandinavia has such a low population density. I mean, Norway has 5.2 million people in a country the same size as the UK. And most, 10% of the population are in the capital, which means there are very few people out in the countryside. So you will encounter very few people.
So if you do get hypothermia, it's
Game over, mate. Game over.
I'm soaked. I'm dead.
We need to bring down that 2.9 litres.
It's unbring downable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, like you say, it's sort of not just the visuals, but you've painted a very nice picture here. That it's also the sounds or the lack of sounds,
sound, yeah.
But
Tranquility.
So there's what does the course actually look like in terms of? I mean, is it a point to point? Is it a loop? Is it?
I believe it's a loop.
Right.
I haven't looked at the this year's course, next year's course.
Yeah.
But I believe it is a loop.
You're right. And have you any idea about the elevation at all?
I don't think it's too much.
Right. I guess the grunt work is as soon as you start pedaling.
The snow.
Yeah.
Traction is the key with fat biking.
Yeah.
You have to have good traction, and
Right.
that's why we have this prop here. It's about width of tire, studs on your tire, so little metal spikes are coming out of the tire, usually down the center, sometimes also down the side of the treads, and also tire pressure. So all these things are absolutely key. So the bigger your tire, the wider your tire. And some fat bike tyres go up to 6.2 inches wide.
So what would you say?
This is a 4.8,
Right, and that's huge.
and that's it's quite big.
If you're watching, I'm just holding up a huge. I see one of your.
This is a 4.8. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is mine.
I mean, so that's what you're planning on using.
Yeah, yeah.
So would you
With
say
studs.
a 4.8 is optimum?
I think the wider the better for traction.
Right.
It depends on the conditions. Like the Inuit might have 40 words, the Norwegians have 20 words for snow because the conditions change so
Right.
much.
Okay. Different types of snow.
Absolutely, and it does affect skiers as well as fat bikers.
That's really interesting.
So yeah, the wider the tire, the better the traction. With studs, studs are very good for ice. They can be slower, noisier if the conditions are really good. But it's that compromise of grip really that you're always thinking about.
So would you be expecting snow for the duration, to be riding on snow for the duration?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And like James said, if you're going 7 kilometers an hour,
That's good.
you're doing well.
You will be going slower than that. Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes walking. I mean,
Yeah.
hence the conversation that we had in the previous week.
Okay.
If you're going so slow that you're generating so much heat just trying to go forwards, better off just walking.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's why you've talked about the training off the bike.
Yeah. It's just as important as on the bike.
So what? Okay, I'm doing a lot of training on the bike, James. So I don't doubt I'll have a fairly well-tuned cardiovascular fitness for this. But what do I need to be looking at doing out off the bike?
Off the bike. So in terms of my training on the bike, what I'm actually trying to do is just get my fat max up. So that's I think my fat max at the moment is about 225 watts.
Okay.
The higher I can get that, the less likely I am to sweat at higher power outputs. So that's the on the bike focus.
Right. So you're using wattage rather than the heart rate for your fat max.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of off the bike, specifically for my trip, I will be pulling a big, heavy sled.
Let's talk about a shorter event before
Yeah.
we talk about Antarctica. Say we're doing this 100 miler.
Yeah.
How would I sort of get myself in peak physical condition from a muscular point of view?
I guess it's gym work, so full body strength.
Right.
You want to be able to push your bike comfortably, which if you're just a quad monster, you might struggle with. So it's full body work. So I'd suggest like 3 sessions a week working your full body in the gym, which I'd suggest to anybody
So
anyway.
compound lifts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
deadlifts, squats, bench presses,
Yeah.
military presses.
Yeah, Romanian deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats,
Okay.
and then upper body work as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be cautious about doing too much of that training because from the videos I've seen, the Fat Viking, if that's what
Yeah.
that's quite different to what James is preparing for the Antarctic. There isn't that much hiking, maybe none required. It depends on the conditions.
But I'm just thinking about, because if you're going 7 kilometers an hour, I guess you're not really spinning that gear. I guess you're putting a huge amount of torque to make that you'll propel your bike through the snow.
It depends, as Ian's alluded to, it depends on the surface and the conditions.
Right.
Sometimes you could be doing 6-7 Ks an hour, and if it's a groomed kind of snowmobile track, then you'll be flying.
Yeah,
and
I
you'll
think,
feel fine.
And I think in the Fat Viking and Yilo, they are prepared tracks because that's a home to winter sports in Norway.
So you'd be going 7 kilometers an hour, but you'd be spinning.
No, I
a
think
good
you could be going
cadence.
faster because they're prepared tracks. Because skiers have been on them because
right.
maybe they put a snowmobile out.
All right,
It's not like wilderness where I think you have trained. And for Antarctica, that's where you'll be going. Is there is nobody preparing your tracks
yeah,
for
they
you.
don't prepare those tracks.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the body sort of taken care of. What would you, apart from the tyres, what are you looking at doing to your bikes for the Fat Viking? Is there any special lubricant you put on a chain for cold weather, or any sort of extra safety measures, or anything to protect the bike?
There are cold weather lubricants are a thing, so I'm trying to work with a few brands for me to take on my trip.
Right.
I haven't tested any of those out there in Sweden currently. The one thing I would suggest, have you heard of Pogies?
I've heard of them, yeah.
I'd get some of those for your handlebars. And so,
Sorry, what are they? Obviously, haven't
I
heard
should
of
have
them.
told you. They are essentially gloves for your handlebars.
Oh, yeah.
That allow you to put your hands inside, protect you from the wind, and give you some level of insulation. What that means is you can keep your hands a bit more nimble. So you want a lighter glove that can go inside, so that if you do need to do anything on your bike, you have a more nimble hand.
Okay, so it's a glove within a glove then. So
Yeah.
you've got your sort of base glove on, you stick it in a big
I think
pocket,
they are essentially big pockets,
Yeah.
usually made out of neoprene.
You see them
Oh.
on the what's it called riders, the
Snowmobile
Deliveroo riders.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them, yeah.
And mopeds, yeah.
I always think it's a pretty
They're,
neat idea.
they're absolutely essential for cold weather
Yeah.
because your hands will suffer regardless of the glove that you wear. So you wear the gloves and then you put them into the pokies, and the pokies actually live on the bike. They're attached usually with Velcro or some sort of attachment that you can just slide your hands into, and you can still pull the brake levers, you can still change gears, and they allow you to sometimes not even wear gloves. But down to the lower temperatures, you should be wearing gloves. But you can wear quite a light glove because your hands are protected from the wind.
Right, yeah, sure, yeah. And what about, issues with, extreme cold on the bike? If you sort of stop riding, can there be any repercussions there? Do things start seizing up quicker than than they would.
Yeah, you get cold.
I mean, the bike. I mean, on the actual bike.
I haven't had any troubles with the bike.
Right. No
itself.
excess rust, because I suppose you're always going through water to a degree.
I'm not sure that's necessarily the issue, because the moisture, the precipitation has solidified to snow, ice, and so unless you get that on your drivetrain, then there's nothing really to worry about. It usually stays on the ground. Whereas if it snowed and you left your bike outside, of course that's going to solidify on your cassette, on the chain, everywhere, and it's just going to solidify there.
Right.
But
Okay.
I've never had any issues, because when you're moving, the drivetrain moves and it just sheds snow, a little bit of snow that you might accumulate on there very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any problems with
The only,
precipitation on your drivetrain or
the only
anything?
problems I've had whilst camping, and it's snowed like a metre outside whilst I've been asleep, and woken up.
Literally a metre.
Yeah, and then the bike's a bit covered with all of your stuff as well. But that's for most people, that won't be a problem.
I guess for the Antarctic, you'll be taking your bike inside a tent,
I won't be able to. It will stay outside. Yeah.
and you'll cover it somehow.
I guess it's something I need to train with. Yeah.
Oh, okay, something
I
I haven't
haven't-
considered.
Haven't done that yet. Haven't considered that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something to prepare for.
Just going back to the fat Viking briefly, have you any idea what it looks like in terms of aid stations? Are there any?
Yeah, there are, because it is Norway's a civilized country. And,
But like you say, it's in the back of beyond, and there's only 5 million people there.
Yeah, but
Is anyone getting?
We've put the fear into
yeah,
I'm all right.
he's scared. So
I'll just hunt.
I'm not
I'll just hunt down an elk.
I'm not scared.
I am not scared. I'm Stephen No Fear Shrubsall. Yeah, that's my name.
his
Yes.
well-known nickname.
Stephen Danger Shrubsall. Stephen the Meal Deal Shrubsall. actually.
Stephen, heavy sweater, 2.9 litres
Stephen
per hour.
2.9 litres an hour Shrubsall.
Shrubsall, yes. Yes, there are. I think there's at least
will
a
there
cafe
be-
at one of the checkpoints. Maybe it's halfway.
This is a deal breaker. Will there be
Meal deals.
rain?
No.
Will there be reindeer burgers?
Reindeer burgers, possibly,
Okay,
quite possibly. Yeah.
sold to that man with the grey t-shirt. I'm liking the sound of this. I know I might look like conversely.
I mean, we can see you've started sweating already. That's the fear seeping out of all his pores.
That's just because I'm fat. So 24th of January, Fat Viking,
Yilo, Norway.
Yilo, Norway. We're going to be there, God willing.
I can't get
God willing.
the words
Bless
out of
me.
your mouth are not matching any of the actions whatsoever.
Yeah. Body language is not
We're
matching.
really excited to be doing this.
I'd rather.
Have you even got a bike?
I'd rather be in
Yeah.
Barbados, sitting on the beach drinking a pina colada. But I'm going to be fat biking in Norway.
Have you got a fat bike?
No.
Well, you can hire one, I think, from the people who are both running the event and they're running a winter survival course about 3 days before that.
You might need that.
I need a winter survival course. For what?
Heavy sweaters.
Heavy sweaters this way, please.
It's
Right.
it's a one-person course.
Yes. Now we are going to need your next of kin. And make sure your affairs are in order. I'm not scared of a bit of snow.
It's quite a lot of snow.
I'm not scared of a bit of snow. Or are there any beasties there that I need to be worried about?
I think it's too far south for elk. There might be some deer.
I'm not worried about elk.
I don't think any wolves. Wolves are quite rare.
You're the prey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll watch this space for that one. Winter training starts now. Well, I'll be in the gym this evening. Dead bench pressing my feeble. I don't know. I can barely lift up the bar. The bar's about 20k, isn't it? At a decent gym.
Yeah.
I think last time I went to the gym, this was so embarrassing. It's like, okay, I started off, I put 2 10 plates on, 110, so I had 40 on the 20 on the bar and 40 in total. All right, yeah, no worries. Did that 5 times. Thought, I can do better than that. I saw this kid next to me who was like, pissing 60. Like, well, if he can do that. The thing is, it's not about the way you look, it's about how well trained you are. So I stuck a few 20 each on there, on the bar. Right, gave it 1. That was easy enough. 2. It's getting a bit harder. Shall I bring it down for a 3rd? Got it there. Fortunately, I hadn't put the collars on either end.
Good, yeah.
So I got it there. I was like, shit. I'm just gonna right, is anyone looking? Yes, lots of people. But I got it down and just went like that.
Drop
just
them
like
off.
stealthy as possible. Just drop the weight on the floor. Did it the other way. So I got it back on. And 2 people came running up. They're like, you all right, mate? I was like, yes. Don't worry about me.
I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Steve Danger Shrubsall. That's my name.
Yeah, so I am not well trained in terms of bench presses.
Bench presses.
Yeah,
Or, I mean, deadlifts, I used to be pretty good. I used to be able to deadlift 140 kilos. What about yourself?
happened?
I just stopped going to the gym.
That's fair enough.
141 kilos.
No, what can you bench press at the moment, James?
At the moment, I'm repping 80 kilograms for about 6 to 8 reps. So I reckon,
Handy.
yeah, I could go higher if I wanted to.
We-
I'd probably win at the cycling Olympics if it was just for cyclists.
Well, 1 rep max of, discovered that I'm about 60. Or 2 rep max anyway. What about your squats?
I think we're up at about 140, 150 for 1 rep max.
That's a tasty amount of weight. And what about your deadlifts?
Deadlifts I don't do too often.
Yeah.
Probably a similar number.
Got to
nothing
be
too
really careful of deadlifts. Like, they're the one where you need the technique because you can easily wreck your back. Like, as my brother James did, he was only doing dumbbell deadlifts. I think there was a fair bit of weight, but I mean, he'd had a lingering sciatica issue anyway. But I think he sort of did some deadlifts, and a couple of days later, he couldn't walk for 6 months.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's hard because I find they're really important for like building like hamstring
You
strength.
can
'cause
really feel it, can't you?
my hamstrings, I think it's common in most cyclists is to have underdeveloped hamstrings because your quads can become so dominant, and so it's a really good exercise. So, but the risk injury is obviously there. So I tend to do hex bar deadlifts instead, and just
They're slightly safer, I think.
allow your weight to be a bit more forward, and that can take a bit of the pressure off. I mean, if you have the technique down, the injury risk is limited.
Yeah,
Well,
technique is everything.
I don't have the technique.
when I did the 140, wasn't pretty. So just about got the damn thing off the floor.
That's probably why people came running. Are you okay, mate?
No,
Are you okay?
this is when I had to ditch my weights from the bench press. But when I did my 140, I actually knew the guy who worked in the gym. He goes, "Don't do that again," because your form was all over the place. I said, "I'm not bothered about form. I'm bothered about picking massive weights off the floor and looking hard." But yeah, I stopped now I just, if I go to the gym, I just do 60 and rep it quite a few times, and yeah. Ian, do you ever go to the gym?
I've got a hack squat machine
Or what?
at home.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Do you use it?
I have done when I've been training. Yes, yeah, and I've done I think to a level of about 330 kilos.
330?
We need to stop
leg.
asking Ian questions because it just blows us out of the water.
330 kilogram squat.
No, leg press.
Oh, right. Oh, leg presses.
Per leg.
That's easy. Anyone could do that. I think I did 335 yesterday, actually.
I said per leg.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Sure, mate. Sure.
Lemon squeezy.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so yeah, gym. I think there's definitely a place for the gym. I do like it. Yeah, keep doing it. Have you ever used a rowing machine in the gym? I think they're a great full body, well, sort of they're cardiovascular in the main, but
Yeah, I've also owned a rowing machine. I got rid of that.
They're painful.
It makes a
Have
lot
you,
of noise.
done much rowing, James?
I got really into rowing in lockdown and almost broke a 6-minute 2K.
Wow.
But I wouldn't get anywhere near that. That's the highest I think my heart rate has been in recent years.
6 minutes.
6 or
I've
7.
got 7 dead. And that took me a lot of training. And a lot of, like you say, that is proper, I'm going to throw up here.
Oh, yeah. I've never felt anything like that.
I think the 2K row is probably the most painful thing you can probably do. Because your whole body is full of lactate. It's like, even your head, it's coming out of your eyeballs.
Yeah. I collapsed off the machine when I hit the.
Did you do it in the gym?
No, I did it at home.
Do you have a Concept 2?
Yeah.
That's like pro, like elite level.
I think that's why I had a bet with a friend, and that's the level I was trying to get to.
So what did you start at? Obviously,
I think I did 7 minutes 20 the first time I tried to do it, and within 6 months, that's what I got up to. Yeah, and then stopped after that.
You got bang on 6.
No, 6:07. That's the closest I got. Yeah.
Right. So that's like 126 per 500 meters.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Gave up after that.
Yeah.
That was the closest I got. I've never felt that disgusting.
That's the closest you can be to dead. Like,
that's how I felt.
Yeah, with a heart rate of what did your max heart rate get up to?
I can't remember. It must have been above 190.
Yeah.
But it's a long story.
And what was your rate for that? How many? Can you remember how many pulls you were doing?
No idea.
Yeah, it's like they try and do it. Like Matt, who was the guy, the Olympian, Matthew.
Is it like 32? I think I was at 32 a minute.
He did sub 20 and does sub 20 a minute, and gets sub 6 just in training.
Just massive power.
Huge power, yeah. Anyway,
back to cycling.
But rowing, do it if you're at the gym. Bloody excellent. I love it.
Means you don't get rained on.
Well, you do through sweat. 2.9 litres an hour worth. Right, okay.
If you're below Steve's.
Fat Viking, get to the gym, do a bit of rowing, do a bit of squatting, do a bit of deadlifting, do a bit of thingying, that, and try not to kill yourself in the process. But let's talk a bit more about you, James, because as we spoke about on the last podcast, you are going to have a go at a world record. And I'd like to go a little bit more in depth about that, because we really do touch winter riding there to an extreme. Can you just give us some of the sort of the stats on that? You know, how long it's going to take, the mileage or kilometers, the elevation, stuff like that.
Sure. So for those that don't know, I'm attempting to be the first person to cycle unsupported to the South Pole. So it will start on the coastline, and essentially the route that I've selected will be 911 kilometers up to the South Pole. That is initially quite flat. There's a climb up to the polar plateau, which is maybe 200 meters. And then once on the polar plateau, it's a steady climb all the way to the pole. The bike is, I think, going to be around 20 kilos. And then the bulk, which I will pull, will be 130, 140. The average temperature, whilst I'll be there, is going to be minus 20 degrees Celsius. But with wind chill and in various wind levels, it can go even more like that, even lower.
And we really are talking about a desolate landscape here, aren't we?
There is nothing. So Antarctica is the driest, windiest, highest, and coldest continent.
And you're going to be on
slap
your
bang
own.
In the middle of it, yeah. So it's technically a desert, which a lot of people don't know. So although there is snow there, it very rarely snows or rains. And so there is nothing. It is just a complete white landscape. And I think that will be even harder than dealing with the cold, is actually
the
not knowing the perception of how far you're moving every day.
So how are you going to know where you're going is the question that begs to be answered.
I'll have a GPS device with me, and I'll probably take a compass as a backup and a paper map, just in case there's any issues. But there is essentially 3 turning points on the whole route.
Right.
So I'll start in one direction. I will navigate through the mountain, the pass that I need to go up in another direction, avoiding any crevasses. And then I'll make one final turn as I get closer to the pole to navigate through the polar plateau.
Right. I mean, that is an adventure.
Yeah. So 3 turns over 60 days. That's all I need to make.
It's worse than Kansas.
That is, yeah, that's
How-
next level.
How high is the South Pole?
I believe, and I don't know this off by heart, I think it's at 3,000 meters.
So you go from sea level, basically.
Roughly. Yeah,
Roughly.
I'm a bit higher than sea level because I don't drop all the way down. There is an ice shelf that I won't cycle across. But yeah, up at 3,000 meters. But then I think it's extenuated on an altitude front because it's at a pole. So it will feel higher, essentially.
So what will denote that pole? What will denote the end?
There's an American station there.
Right.
So they have a scientific station.
And
Is that manned all the time? Is that staffed?
Yeah.
How many people are there?
Couldn't tell you.
And are they going to help you out?
They can help me when I arrive. If I was doing the unsupported crossing, which I do want to do, I'll have to go via the pole, but I'm not allowed to accept any help from anybody there. There's a famous explorer who had a cup of tea at the South Pole on his way through, and his expedition is now entitled supported because he had 1 cup of tea.
so what do you mean? So where will the expedition end?
At the South Pole, at the station.
Okay, so once you're there, but he had a cup of tea at the station?
Yeah, I believe, and I don't know the full story, he was using a kite surf. So he was skiing across, but then also being wind powered. So I think he'd done something ridiculous, like 2,000 kilometers, stopped at the pole for 15 minutes, had a cup of tea and a chat, and then did the rest of it all on his own.
Oh, so he went all over the whole thing?
Yeah, across the continent via
okay.
skis
Right.
and wind with a kite. And yeah, because of that 1 cup of tea for 15 minutes, it's classified as a supported expedition.
Those rules.
You got to love them.
Yeah. So, I mean, so many questions about this because, yeah, it's an adventure and a half.
And you're attempting it in November next year.
November next year. So the summer is inverted. So it's Antarctic summer, be 24-hour daylight.
Right.
What are the biggest risks for all this? What are the things which keep you awake at night thinking, if this happened, I could be dead, or this is the end of my record?
Sweaty base layer.
Hypothermia is the big one.
Really?
And that's mainly because now I've done a cold weather course. I've realized it's quite hard to identify on your own. It's a lot easier to identify in a pair because a lot of your mind can convince you that you're not actually going into hypothermia.
It convinces you you're hot, doesn't it? You start stripping off the clothing.
That's once you get past a certain level, but there's certain early indicators that it's very easy to overlook when you're on your own. As an example, when I was out training this year, I was skiing with 4 other people. And one of the signs, I can't remember the acronym, but one of the signs is that you start like muttering to yourself. And so one of the guys I was skiing with was just kind of, effing and jeffing and constant shifting and stuff. And so he wasn't going into hypothermia, but we went through all of the checks.
It was just a miserable...
And that's why it's so hard to identify.
Yeah, you won't,
guy.
You won't be able to identify me when we do the fat Viking.
It's just Steve.
So that's one, it's something that you really have to be dialed into and take care with. The other is the crevasse region, which shouldn't be an issue because it's so well known now that as long as I stick to the GPS route, I should be safe. But if I do make any navigation errors, there's a risk that I go into a crevasse, and that's terrible.
I'm imagining falling into an ice cavern and the ground giving way, and suddenly I'm 100 meters beneath the surface.
I feel the man's head with fear.
Well,
I'm sure it's already full of that. To a degree.
have I woken up sweaty at night thinking about this? Yeah. Yeah.
So is it actually signed? Are there flags or something which
They've done scans of the surface, so they know where the high risk crevasse areas are. And so as long as my navigation skills are on point and I'm following the GPS pinned route, I should be absolutely fine. But there's always risks.
and if your GPS device doesn't work? Is that a possibility? Losing
I'll
signal.
have backups.
You have
And,
backups.
yeah, I shouldn't ever need to. You're not required to take a paper map and a compass. That would purely be for funs and laughs for me because I like having paper maps.
So what are you going to take for GPS? To sort of mapping and stuff.
I don't know the exact model, but it's a Garmin that I'm working with, GTC, a global telecommunications.
So you're going to take a couple of those.
I'll have 2 of those, yeah.
And what about for communication with, the outside world, with family and friends and...
Yeah, I mean, a number of conversations we've had, you're an incredibly gregarious person, somewhat extroverted.
Yeah.
45 days on your own in the white wilderness. How are you going to cope with that?
So I have joked about this in that all of the challenges I've done, the one thing that brings me back from the edge is human interaction and like nipping into like a bakery and like getting some like nice different food.
Yeah, or encountering riders in Veer.
Yeah.
Having a chat.
I'm just stripping all of that away for this one. I will not see any other people for the 45 to 60 days, and it will be the same food that is pre-planned every day. So yeah, we need to see. I mean, this really is. When I say I like to push my limits and find where they are, I like mean it. And this is
pushing yourself mentally.
Yeah, I mean...
This is going to be the hardest thing
This
I
guy
ever do.
is... I mean, India, when you rode in India, I mean, that was, a pretty good example of mental resilience.
But it's a different kind of mental resilience. Is that loneliness?
Are you able to contact, have you...
Yeah. Sorry, we did skirt the question there.
Yeah.
So there's a logistics company that will support me whilst I'm out there. I by our contract, I have to contact them daily and have daily check-ins. And through that, I can also call at home with the sat phone that I have, although it is incredibly expensive.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But that would be, I mean, you got your bakery and your chats with friends on your other big sort of explorations. That sort of 5 minutes could be your target every day, 5-minute chat with friends or family.
I'll call you, Steve.
I should bloody well hope so. Yeah.
What meal deal did you get today?
Oh, are you ready for this?
Triple cheese again.
Enjoy
Steve, I need more.
Enjoy the frozen seal. Which leads us on to our next question. What are you going to eat?
This is the one thing that I've
and
tested.
Drink.
Yeah, and it's crucial. So it's the same every day. One of the hardest things we'll do drink first. So it's very easy to get dehydrated because you don't want to drink. It's going to be the exact opposite of India, and so I will have administered every hour. I will stop to force myself to consume water. Basically,
How much?
Another thing
whatever.
I'm training with, so I'll have 2 1-litre flasks filled with boiling water that I'll make at the start of the day. And I will essentially try and stretch it as much as I can by picking up fresh snow from the ground and melting the hot water in there. My guess is throughout the day, I'll drink about 3 to 4 litres.
Okay.
And ideally keep a little bit of water left over to make more water with at the end of the day. So those 2-litre flasks by the end of the day will be cool.
Right.
So that's the waterfront. Normally what I put some carb mix in with the water as well, just to get some liquid calories in there too.
You're going to have a lot of carb mix with you.
Yeah. To consume in the morning, my breakfast is going to be about 1,500 calories. So a big ex-bed.
That's a big breakfast.
That's a big breakfast. I'll be burning. I won't be able to eat as much as I'm burning, essentially.
No, God,
Because your body is constantly trying to heat itself.
Do you know what sort of heart rate you're going to be functioning at?
I don't think it'll be that high because you'll be trying to keep it low.
Yeah.
From you don't want to be sweating.
So, I mean, this is where you're saying your average speed at best is going to be 7 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if I can do 7 kilometers an hour, I'd be at the pole in like 20 days.
All right.
So it won't happen. And I think the max distance I'll cover in a day is 15, 20K. Yeah.
And so that's 911 kilometers
Yeah.
that you're trying to do. And how about your sleep patterns? I mean, this will be very interesting to all those ultra riders out there and bikepackers who, typically in a long ultra, 4,000K, 2 weeks, 4 to 6 hours a night. Is that the sort of sleep pattern you're going to get into?
No, not at all. So I will be moving for 10 to 12 hours a day. I'll allow an hour and a half, 2 hours of admin either side of that. I'll be sleeping for the rest of the time.
Right.
So it will be ideally 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours sleep every night, just because recovery is going to be so crucial. Things are more likely to get injured, I've found, in the cold. And so that recovery time is really necessary.
We forgot to go over your breakfast and your lunch.
Sorry,
and your dinner.
yeah.
No, that was me. I derailed you. Sorry.
So yeah, 1,500, essentially 1,000 calories of oats. It will be like an expedition style meal. And then there's a 600 calorie peanut butter like pouch thing that I carry that just goes straight in. So it's
Are they individual pouches?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it'll be 600 calories of nut butter basically into 1,000 calories of
So
of
that's
oats.
breakfast.
That's breakfast.
Breakfast of champions.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, 8 planned stops. So ride
One
for
at
an
the
hour.
BP garage, one at the SA.
Costa.
Picking up Costa sausage rolls.
Great.
And that will be a 300 to 400 calorie snack. So cheese, salami, chorizo.
So
He
these are
pointed
all,
at me there.
Chorizo
So these are all going to be in your bag.
in the bag.
Are they all pre-prepared or what?
Yeah. So I'll have pre-prepared them when I get to Chile before
Right.
I head to Antarctica.
God, this guy.
So
Yeah.
that will be maybe certain nuts in there as well, although I didn't get on too well with them in my training. And then what I'll have in reserve, so I'm trying to make the diet as fat-based as possible because it reduces the weight. But I do know there's going to be some times where I need carbs. I've found that out in my training. Sometimes the energy levels just dip and you need that quick hit. So I will have some, there's these like date bars, which I really like that do well in the cold. Because that's the other thing.
What are they called?
These are done by Resilient Nutrition.
Okay. Dates are actually really, really good for, cycling nutrition, energy anyway, aren't they? Yeah. So.
It's like dates compressed with like nuts and seeds. Which
All right.
which is
Okay.
cool.
So it's pretty much natural as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, I'll have another expedition meal. Sometimes I might double up, so another 1,600 calories of expedition meals.
Which are what in general?
So it can be any fire pot foods style. They do a load of different curries, beans.
So you'll
stews.
just have a little fire going, your camp stove going.
Camp stove, yeah. Yeah. So whenever you're
cozy, just in the middle of nowhere.
With all your friends.
yeah, I mean multiple. I'm going to have multiple personalities by the end of it.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. What are you going to do for? Sorry, Ian. Did you want to ask anything?
Oh no! I mean,
Yeah.
I'm curious to where you're going with this.
No.
Speak to a mirror.
No, I was just going to say, what are you going to do for entertainment? Because my fear would be
Steve Danger shrugs off.
Yeah, would be going.
Mental
Yeah, genuinely losing the plot,
could happen.
and like figuratively and literally losing the plot, just starting to walk around in circles.
That's. I mean, while we're talking about
Sorry to
physical
put
training,
a negative spin on it.
and in an ultra, there's the mental focus, but you're never far from civilization. And you know, there are numerous occasions when you came across riders during VIA, during the Southern Divide. You came across me, and then in India, you're just surrounded by people, aren't you? But this is next level. This is almost like being at sea and having the sea and nobody else, and maybe get some wildlife, but you probably won't even get wildlife there.
There isn't, no.
So can you
Can
train
no penguins?
mentally to deal with that isolation? Have you read about other expeditions going out there who think about what it means to be solo and therefore how you can get through that loneliness?
Two things are coming to mind. So I have practiced that when I was in Sweden, going out on my own. It's only been a week so far, but I dealt with it okay.
You were on your own for a week in Sweden.
I was on my own, yeah. I've read other people's books as well that were out there solo or have done polar expeditions to try and learn from them. But I think the training that I've got coming up, that's going to be 3 weeks solo. So that will give me a true test of what it's going to be like. But this isn't normally like me, but I have utmost confidence. I think you've seen it in Via, in that focus, that I can dial that in and I will give everything to work towards that goal. I think that is my superpower. And I don't think I would even allow myself to indulge in these. So I think it will be very tough, but I think I can just ground myself in the ultimate goal.
Yeah, just zero in, blinkers on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got very serious there for a second. You could see the...
the jaw going, I'm going to have this.
But I think that is... I call
self-power.
I think when we've been probing you about the loneliness, I think you've become slightly uncomfortable as you you're rolling up your sleeves.
It's going to be...
I think you're imagining yourself in the Antarctic all alone. I think the difference between even your training expeditions, which is 3 weeks long, Via, you're never very far from civilization in Western Europe. The Antarctic is going to be different because you don't really know how long you're going to be.
No.
Because of the conditions. You don't know how far you can progress because of the conditions. And therefore, I think that is going to be one of the biggest mental struggles. You don't have 3 weeks. You don't have 4,000K. You know it's 911K, but you just don't know how slow you're going to go. So the number of days that you're going to have to be out there. I mean,
have you got any got any good podcasts downloaded? No, seriously, are you going to have any music or anything?
I will. Do you want to know the hardest thing is apparently from my cold weather coach, Spotify, if you don't connect to the internet for 30 days, you lose access to it.
Right.
So I'm going to have to find another service.
Yeah.
Because, I need to connect to the internet. But I have an old school iPod, which I'll probably take with me.
Yeah. Yeah, go.
So you don't need lights.
Don't need lights.
Because it's going to be 24-hour daylight.
24-hour daylight, yeah.
You're going to carry all your food, all your fuel to keep your to heat your food.
Yep.
So should your bulk from 120 kilos get lighter, so it would just get lighter and lighter and lighter.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be easy at the end.
So I need to work out the numbers, but it should be like 40 kilos by the end. That's like base weight with everything else in there.
Right.
And that 40 kilos is to get you back down to sea level.
No, I'll be picked up from the pole. It's going to be easy.
Okay.
I forgot to ask, in terms of charging electronics, how are you going to be doing that?
Solar.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I saw your watch was solar.
Yes. Yeah. I've got, I'm working with a company that I can't announce yet, but they're sending this big roll mat, which I'll put on the back of my Polk.
Oh, okay.
And we'll essentially charge 24/7.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that work? Do your oh right, it's like a sort of generator type thing that you can then charge things in.
You can plug in a portable battery, and it does have some residual power in there as well that you can power up.
And I expect you'll have quite a lot of light.
Yeah, I'm gonna be overflowing with power. Steve.
Yeah. Both ways, mate. You are. Well, honestly, we've spoken to a lot of people on this podcast, but I think this is one of the most impressive things that's ever come out of it. Obviously, I haven't done it yet.
There you go.
But it takes a hell of a lot of courage to announce something like this. To make it, to put it in the public eye. I am going to ride, walk, drag my sorry backside across Antarctica. And yes, mate. Yeah.
So it puts your Royal Chilterns Way FKT.
No.
Oh, they're on a par still.
Well, I've done my Royal Chilterns FKT, so I'm still much greater than James. I mean, James is good, but Royal Chilterns FKT, which lasted about 5 seconds.
Has somebody taken it?
About 100 people. Taken a week after by Nikki, who took about 5 hours off it.
Nice.
Then it's been...
Yeah, it's fallen a number of times.
Been obliterated twice since then.
Yeah, mate, but what's her sweat level?
Exactly, it's not 2.9 litres an hour. I'd say it's 1-2 max. And I shall be inviting these people on the podcast to find out exactly their sweat rate.
So that leads me to another question. Has anybody actually done this before?
There's been 6 recorded
attempts,
expeditions in
by
South
bike.
Pole. By
Solo?
bike. A few people have gone solo, but this is where...
Was it a case of I'm just going out for a walk and I may be sometime? I'm just going out for a ride and I may be sometime. Did they come back?
No, they did come back.
Yeah, good.
But no one expedition is the same. A lot of them, there was a lot in 2013, and one guy took skis as well. So it's unknown how much he skied and how much he cycled. So that is classified as supported because he was using skis. Another guy had food drops along the way, so he was just riding by bike essentially. So that classifies as supported. And then you had Maria Leierstrom, who rode on a bike and had a support car as well for some of it. So there are various expeditions out there. The most recent cases were in, I think it was 2019 and 2021, was Omar De Felice, who attempted it. And I think he managed to cover, he went on a different route, and I think he rode 600-700 kilometers unsupported on one attempt. And then the other, I think due to really bad adverse conditions, he lasted 3 or 4 days before he had to call it.
Wow. So he didn't make it either time?
Didn't make it either time, no.
Yeah, I understand you're still in the process of funding the trip. You've probably got most of the stuff you need, but in terms of logistics and travel and whatnot, are you where you want to be?
Not just yet. I think, as with all of these projects, you can always you always want more, and so I've managed to secure, and I'll be announcing soon, some incredible brands that I'm working with and really proud to be working with. But I'm also looking for financial sponsors that kind of align with the goals and want to be part of the documentary and story. I think it's the one thing I've found out during this journey is that I don't see myself as just an athlete. I actually see myself as a storyteller. And so
what are you going to take there in terms of like recording equipment?
As much as I can, as much as my cold weather coach allows me to, basically, I'm playing with the idea of taking a drone, which might be too heavy.
Just a mini, like a
one that I'm thinking, one that I can chuck up and just it can follow me.
Yeah, those what they called hover airs.
Yeah,
they're really good, and also the one that I've been using recently, a DJI Neo. Is it? Really good. You don't need any connection. You stick it up.
Throw them up.
But obviously you got batteries to think about. But yeah, so you're actually going to make some sort of documentary out of it?
That's the plan.
Right, yeah. And I just obviously I write for the magazine as well. We're gonna try and document it with my pen or with my keyboard. I can write better than I can talk, by the way.
You can talk better, you can read.
We might do a live podcast.
We're thinking about podcasting as well, which would be incredible.
It would be quite cool to be live on the ice.
Absolutely incredible if we could do a live podcast when you're on the ice.
Speaking about crisps and deer and
when you don't have any crisps, you can't see any deer.
How I'm sitting back watching EastEnders with a pint and a packet of salt and vinegar.
What are you up to, James?
What are you up to?
Yeah.
Boring. You never guess who's just gone in the Queen Vic. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, incredible, James, and hopefully we'll catch up with you before you go. Well, you're not going until next November, so we'll definitely see you before, and it'd be great to know how your training's going and logistics and stuff like that. But thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
And if anybody wants to find out about how you're fundraising,
If you want to find out more about me, the project is called Pedal the Impossible. So www.pedaltheimpossible.com. It has my contact details on there. So yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring or getting involved in the project in any way, that's the website.
You heard it here first. Well, not first, but you heard it here. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching / listening. We'll see you again soon.